Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Birkenhauer Memorial Gymnasium, home of the Salves. Tonight, Salesianum hosts the Odessa Ducks for our annual senior night game. The Salves have been struggling to keep solid momentum as they have yet to keep a win streak longer than 2 games, sticking at their even 7-7. Odessa, on the other hand, with an impressive winning record of 7-4, yet have only beaten 1 team with a winning record at the time of play. Standout seniors like Latrell Wright and Mark Brown embody this team's high-scoring offense, with Wright scoring 10-plus points every game since early December. My name is Liam Watson, alongside Tim Grace. Tim, what can we expect coming into this game?
You know, Liam, the Salves have had a grueling schedule thus far this year. They're looking to finish strong against some more local teams with 3 consecutive home games in the next 2 weeks. And as you said, Latrell Wright and Mark Brown are leading this offense, each with 10-plus points per game, not to mention the rest of the contributors like Dom Downs or Bray Sosa, who make this team a lot scarier than their 7-7 record may show. On the Odessa side of things, however, senior William Warfield leads the Ducks in scoring with 119 points, averaging just under 10 per game. The Ducks' leading rebounder is Jarvis Watson with around 3 in each game. This is going to be a really even matchup tonight, despite the lopsided records. And it's going to be some great basketball on Broom Street.
All 4 players mentioned will be starting here tonight. DJ's starting off early. Senior night here at Birkenhauer Memorial Gymnasium. Every starter for Salesianum is a senior. Coach Trev trying to get those seniors the time they deserve.
Kevin Coleman there taking the opening tip-off for the Salves.
Jarvis Watson on the other side, junior, clear tallest man on the team. A little bit of a height differential between these 2 teams in Salesianum's favor. Let's see what Salesianum can do with it. Jarvis Watson takes it easily. Kevin Coleman gives up on it a little bit. Keon Wilburn to start off. Reddick, heavy contention underneath. Watson all the way over. George Nelson, 3, can't get it. Shelley with the rebound. Latrell Wright bringing it up. Energy starting for Odessa. Right, looking around, Kevin Coleman. Coleman, contention. Wright, he's got an open lane. He's going to take the floater. 2! Latrell Wright getting the first points on the board for Salesianum. Here's Ion Reddick. Over to Jarvis Watson. Can't hit the floater like Latrell Wright. Right over to Downs. Good pick and roll by Downs. Downs back out. Shelley has an open 3. Can't take advantage of it.
Shelley used a little bit too much of his forearm there, trying to get space for the ball. The rest are going to call it against the Salves. Duck ball.
Shelley had an open 3 there. Just lost control of the ball for a second. Slipped out of his hands. Here's Warfield. William Warfield all over. Freshman Keon Wilburn now. Pick set by Watson, doesn't use it. It's Warfield swatted to the ground.
Early in this game, Liam, both teams looking to run this man defense with some trap assist up in those top corners and on the elbows. Seems to be working pretty well. Because after over a minute, we've still only had 1 basket.
Odessa's student section getting pretty lit right now. They're very excited for this game. A lot of teams come in here hoping to stomp on Salesianum, known as one of the best student sections in Delaware. First points on the board. Warfield gets his second, ties it up. Latrell Wright. Sal's looking for something. And falls to the ground. Downs jukes out, got an open 3. Can't get it. Mark Brown with a huge recovery, nothing. Coleman, everyone's got a hand on the ball. Watson comes out with it. Reddick hands it off to George Nelson. Former Salesianum slips up a little bit. Wilburn has to reset a little bit. Reddick Over to Nelson. Over to Warfield. Back to Reddick. Reddick looks for the open three. He's got it. Can't take advantage of it. Nelson recovers. He can't get it either. Downs with the rebound. Looking for some momentum here. Downs. Huge layup. Nothing. That'll be out of bounds. Odessa ball.
Downs there just trying to get that double clutch go around the defender. Unfortunately, couldn't quite put enough spin on it off the backboard. And fell just a bit short of the rim.
He had a very good idea there, just trying to build up the momentum a little bit, put some pressure on Odessa, make them to take defense a little bit more seriously. His wingspan a little bit too long there. Here's Wilburn. Nelson. Nelson on Coleman. Coleman, one of the best defenders. Nelson gets around him. Over Warfield. Great step there. Ducks take a small lead. Right, Coleman. Coleman's strong hands, not strong enough.
There you could see up top, Coleman, he got the ball and just fell victim to that trap defense up top. Almost went back court. Unfortunately, was able to dump it off before the foul.
Salves keep it. Coleman over to right, good switch around. Watson's all over it. Right, huge over to Downs. Downs looks for open three, jukes him out all the way over to Mark Brown. He's got an open three. Almost an air ball, so right. It's the rebound. Switch around Nelson. Right over to Downs. He's got an open three. Nothing. Salves aren't able to get these threes in. Every opportunity being handed to him. Here's Watson. Elon Wilburn. Over to Watson. He wasn't ready for it. Latrell Wright's got an open lane. Easy layup there. Watson just not paying attention on that possession there. Latrell Wright doing what he needs to take advantage of that. There's Warfield. Warfield. Coleman grabs it. Intercepts. Easy two. Can't get it. Mark Brown tries to recover. Nothing. Kevin Coleman rips it away. No, Nelson got it. He's got an open lane all the way down to Reddick. Reddick. He's got three. Or two, excuse me. Right. Wilburn has great pressure. Downs. Back to Downs. Downs with the floater. Nothing. Kevin Coleman fighting for his life out there. Jump ball.
They'll go to the Salves. Downs not able to shoot that free throw. And you know, Liam, despite how similar both of these trap defenses are, the offenses seem to be attacking it in completely different ways. The Ducks are trying to spread the Salves thin in the middle before dumping the ball off for easy layups. Well, the Salves look to be trying to attack the middle and then dump it right out to an easy three. Put points on the board.
Downs. Rothwell with the aggression. He's giving Latrell Wright a little bit of a break. Here's the freshman Sosa on the other freshman. Wilburn over to Reddick. Warfield dumps it off. Wilburn on Mark Brown, almost a foot height difference between those two. Here's Reddick. Rothwell on him. Sosa kicks it out.
Quite literally, Liam, as he's called there for a kickball violation. That one just coming off of his shin. The Ducks will take it down under.
Sosa with good defense there. Runs out of limbs to block that ball.
Healthy dose of heckling there from the South student section as that ball's tipped loose. There goes Rothwell.
Rothwell, Euro step. Easy two. Salves take the lead.
The work of art in the paint there.
Rothwell, very underrated player on this team. Brady Esser also on the court now for Salesianum. Almost a great layup by Warfield. It's going to be a foul called on Mark Brown. Watson with some pressure. No sweat on the first shot. Second. Doesn't get the second. Brady Esser with the rebound. Finds Sosa with an open lane. Watson catches up. Esser. 2 minutes left in this first quarter of action. Here's Esser. Looking for some pressure. Loses the ball. Stays here. Downs and Brown taking a seat. Shelley and Coleman take to the court. Sosa now. Good moves, better defense by Wilburn. Sosa has got two guys on him, running out of time a little bit here. Here's Shelley back to Sosa. Sosa's got a deep three. Hey! Sosa wants some. First three of the game. Wilburn. And that's it. Second violation. Salves building up. There's Stewart for the Ducks, taken to the court. Rothwell going to inbound this one. Esser taking it. Esser all the way over to Shelley. Shelley with the long arms on that. Brings it in. Esser looks for some openings, finds Coleman. Coleman's got a little bit of an open. He's going to step.
And he's fouled on the floor is the call. Call going against Zion Reddick of the Ducks. Salves yet another opportunity for an inbound.
Sosa
thought about shooting it briefly.
Brady Esser looking for something, finds Sosa. Sosa with another three. Nothing. Esser tries to swat it away. There's nothing.
Now one against Shelley.
Ducks going to take this one back a little bit more time. Coleman putting on the pressure. Nothing. Warfield over to Stewart. Warfield's got nothing. Rebound by Stewart, and he gets fouled. Coach Trev getting hot. Still first quarter there, Coach.
Ref lost a whistle there.
He's got his first. Salesianum struggling with their fouls already have 4. Quarter coming to a close soon, however. Stewart, Pink Panther shoes. He's got the second. 2-point deficit. Brady Esser, he's been on the court for quite some time. Coleman switches around. Shelley, great defense by the Ducks so far. Sosa
fell victim to the double team there. Got fouled, able to save him from a sticky situation. Shelley's going to look to inbound this one for the Salves.
Shelley finds Coleman. Coleman taking it up. Over to Esser. Esser usually a shooter. He's double man. Not a lot of room for him. Sosa finds Shelley. Shelley, three. Nothing, airballed. Very difficult shot there for Shelley. Nothing there. Here's Stewart now. Kevin Coleman all over him. Nelson, push off. Nelson's trying to get around Esser. Esser's got amazing defense. Here's Stewart now to reset. Shelley. Warfield. 4 guys on him. That's a foul. Ducks looking aggressive to start this quarter.
This whole first quarter so far has been very physical. Refs trying to stop it now with these foul calls, making sure it doesn't get out of hand. Looks like there's a foul against the Ducks.
Rothwell to inbound this one. Defense for Salesianum has looked immaculate. Offense not so hot. A lot of missed threes so far. Brady Esser looking to remedy that. 20 seconds remain in this first quarter. Esser trying to box up the clock. Layup. Draws the foul. He's got it. 9 seconds remain. Esser with the right idea. Ducks showing a lot of contention, a lot of aggression. Esser wants to draw that foul, get some points on the board to end of the quarter.
Some of the Salves' biggest struggle this quarter on offense has been falling victim to that high trap defense. Normally they'd send it up high, and there's Esser's first free throw is good. But as I was saying, the Salves, they try and sort of reset by sending the ball up high, try and call a new play, get someone open. The Ducks, the moment it gets dumped off, they're swarming that man up top. And it's hard for the Salves to collect themselves if the first play call doesn't go quite how coach wanted it to.
Esser makes them both. Nelson with the handles over Shelley, can't get it. Nelson recovers his own floater, puts it up, and there's nothing. Quick end to the first quarter of action. Salves up by 3. How are we feeling about this defense so far for the Salves?
Well, Liam, both sides' defense has been incredible so far. Again, holding only to 10 and 13 points each in this first quarter. It's been impressive. The Salves playing that zone, trying to take advantage of trapping people up top, and overwhelming them with physicality. Hasn't quite worked to the extent that they'd want it to, but it's doing a good enough job to not make too many huge adjustments. And for the Ducks, it has just been impeccable, trying to get the Salves off guard, making sure they don't have time to think or recollect themselves.
Certainly. Keon Wilburn and George Nelson, both very, very nimble guys, I would say, is a good word for that. They get around very quick, some of the best handles on the team, and it's very difficult to contain those type of players, especially when they're so small and shifty. Salves definitely have a body advantage when it comes to size, and Odessa's using that to their advantage, being able to get around these long-armed guys like Mark Brown and Dominic Downs. I think the Salves are doing a great job at trying to contain that, pushing out their zone, looking for help whenever they can. No doubling every chance they get. Keon Wilburn's having a tough time so far. He's only got a couple shots attempted, not many even made. Here's Jair Stewart now, inbound in this one for the Ducks. Over to Nelson. Nelson loses a little bit. Latrell Wright tries to scoop it up, got nothing. There's Watson. Watson over to Warfield. Warfield picked up by Shelley and Brown. Jump ball called. Salves ball. Great defense there by Shelley. We also see number 12, Gavin Truitt, for the Ducks, taken to the court for the first time here tonight, starting the second quarter. Here then Sosa. Trying to get his team hand on the ball. Pick and roll by Mark Brown, unacquired. Matthew Shelley over Latrell Wright. He's got a deep three. He's got it. Come on. Latrell Wright. Heating up. Nelson. Shifting around right. Watson on Brown, two biggest guys in the stadium. Warfield pushed around Shelley. Warfield getting a little into it, smacking the ball out of Shelley's hands. Wilburn back on for the Ducks. Sosa. Latrell Wright. Same pick and roll play we saw last possession. Shelley, deep floater. Nothing there. Stewart with the rebound. Here's Watson. Three guys all over him. Gets around. Sosa. Great defense. Watson picks it up and he gets an easy two. Great awareness by Watson there. Mark Brown wide open at the end. Wright doesn't see him. Sosa, good pick. Shelley over to Sosa again. Sosa shifting around, finds Mark Brown underneath, can't get it to him. Watson, two guys to beat. One guy to beat. Floater, nothing.
Heads up play there by Nate Shelley, setting his feet, eating the hit, getting the charge call for the Salves. That charged the first foul against the Ducks this quarter.
You have such an aggressive game going between two immaculate teams. Time of possession is something you really need to keep account for. Salesianum right now with the majority. Mark Brown's open at the end. Over to Downs. Right. Nothing. Coleman rebounds. Three guys on him. Fade away. Nothing there. Downs strips it away from Watson. Mark Brown resets. Back to Wright. Wright looks for the pick. Coleman over to Brown. Brown manhandling Watson. Nothing.
Valiant effort on the rebound there by Coleman and Dom Downs. Coleman tried to tip it away from the three Duck defenders underneath the basket. Unfortunately, Downs couldn't beat it out of bounds, and the Ducks will get possession regardless.
Salves looked amazing on that possession there. Just coming up with zilch is one of their biggest problems. Nelson. He's doubled. Wilburn. Has almost no one on him. Watson. To Warfield. Just playing patty cake. Warfield and Nelson. Looking for some calls here. He's just going to give it right back to Wilburn.
Trying to slow it down. The Salves shifting to a more man-focused defense. Is that one?
Watson. It's a travel call. Took too much time on the call there. Ducks just looking for anything they can, build up a play, and Salves were all over it. That's right. all the way around. Got momentum, slides a little bit. Here's Coleman. Coleman, three. Can't get it. We almost witnessed Truitt taking flight there for a second.
Some solid defense there from Truitt. He was able to get up, get his hand on the ball after it had left Coleman's hand, but unfortunately that followed through. Just knocked him to the wood.
This is the first. Coleman for a second. Can't hit it. He does get three. When you get a three-point foul like that, you don't want to come out with just one. This will be in action. Here's Coleman. It's the third. Salves up three. Wilburn, heavy pressure, somehow gets out of it. Warfield, over to Wilburn. Watson fouled.
Rothwell just tried to get over the top there. Knocked the ball out on the way up. Unfortunate.
Valiant effort there by the Ducks. There's Watson. Got the first. Jarvis Watson makes them both. Only down by one. Here's Latrell Wright heating up. 4 minutes remain here in this half. Dom Downs breaks away. Over to Esser. Esser flies away. He's called a foul.
That one going against Warfield.
Not quite sure where that was coming from, but Salves will take it nonetheless. Ducks up to 3 fouls. Latrell Wright. Downs. Wright flying underneath, pushing around, swatted away by Truitt. No thank you. Here's Wilburn. Wilburn picked up by Rothwell. Flies over to Watson, somehow grabs it. Underneath to Truitt. Truitt showing his size. It's going to be a foul called.
That one going against Coleman. Timeout called by Salesianum as they look to regroup.
Things heating up. Salves have had the lead for majority of this game so far, but most of this momentum is in Odessa's hands. Odessa's just waiting for any opportunity they can to take advantage of all these slip-ups Salesianum is making, and that was one right there.
Wilburn to throw this one in for the Ducks. Rothwell.
Stewart gets swatted away, airballed. Wright takes it. Over to Esser. Esser's got a little bit of room, so does Coleman. Coleman driving underneath, over to Rothwell. Rothwell to Downs. Downs over to Esser. Esser trying to break some space away. He's got a room. Layup there, fouled.
Esser there couldn't quite finish the finger roll. That's why it went straight up. His arm just got stopped before he could really give that last spin into the net. And that'll give him 2.
Esser doing a good job drawing those fouls. Putting as much pressure in the paint as he can. And that's certainly the story of this game so far. He's got it. Mark Brown taking it to the court. Sal's looking for a little bit more size as we near the end of this first half. Brady Esser. He's got 2. Zion Reddick coming on for Watson. Watson hasn't really gotten a lot of time on the bench so far. Odessa finding that size very needed. Here's Wilburn. Esser's gotten equally as much play time. Wilburn finds Reddick. Reddick finds Jordan Guyton. He hasn't seen the court yet either. Wilburn. Underneath Stewart, over to Guyton. Guyton swatted down, no foul called. We'll see Aiden Scott, the junior, number 4 for the Ducks. Almost every single member of this Odessa Ducks team is an upperclassman. No sophomores and 1 freshman, that being, of course, Keon Wilburn. Reddick can't find the floater. Wilburn. A little bit of mismatch with Rothwell. Finds Stewart, swatted away, no foul. Here's Wright. Rebound by Coleman. Wright. Hop, skip, and a jump. He's got a good floater there. Up by 5. Wilburn. Stewart. To Wilburn. Huge pick there by Jeremiah McGee. And Reddick's got a phenomenal spin around layup there. The Ducks. Here's Wright over to Mark Brown. Wright. Brady Esser hasn't gotten a lot of chances shooting here. Wright calling some plays. Mark Brown now. He's got an open 3. Brown. Zilch on the jumper there. Wilburn, Wright bites a little too hard. Wilburn finds nobody, apparently. And Scott misses the deep 3. Wright. Wright juking out Stewart. Great move there by Latrell Wright.
Incredible finesse there from the senior.
Holy. Wilburn looking to respond. Reddick. Clock ticking. Latrell Wright breaks away. He's got nothing but room. Slam dunk for Latrell Wright. Give that man 2. Kevin Coleman, excuse me.
And that'll lead perfectly into a timeout.
It's not very often to see 2 back-to-back perfect plays from 2 different players. Just expecting that one to be Latrell Wright, but Kevin Coleman puts it away.
Now let's take a look at this replay. Beautiful. There's no one near him.
Not many people on this team can dunk, but Kevin Coleman sure as heck can. Showing it off right there. Sal's up by 7, minute 24 remaining in this first half.
Coleman there, rejuvenating the Sal student section, who's whited out for the senior night game.
Warfield back on the court. Warfield spinning around. Mark Brown trying to defend nothing. Jeremiah McGee with the easy 2 there. Here's Sosa. Trail right, Downs. Everyone's touching it here. Sosa spinning around by Wilburn. Over to Mark Brown. Downs. Sosa. Looking for some open space here. Here's Shelley. Shelley spins around. Downs at the logo. Sosa. Pump fake. Scoop underneath. Over to Downs. Downs got a deep 3. Downs nothing to show for it. Wilburn resetting. Putting the pressure on. 40 seconds remain. Wilburn all the way underneath. Latrell Wright bites hard. Reddick. Wilburn. Underneath the Warfield. Warfield. Great scoop there. Can't get anything out of it. Wright with a great in and around. Got one guy to beat. Scoops him out. Layup. Fails. Over to Warfield. Warfield just has Downs. A foul called on that one. Not sure if I agree.
I don't see what Downs did.
See, Tim, he put his hands up, and that's illegal. Can't do that. I'm being facetious, but here's Warfield.
Downs made his best effort for a clean play there. This is the first one for Odessa. Downs, he tried his best. He kept his verticality. He didn't move after he'd gone in the air. He just didn't really do much. Apparently it was still too much.
1-score game, first half. Latrell Wright just gonna let the clock tick down a little bit. Maybe take a, never mind. Finds all the way out Shelley. Shelley's gonna take a swat at 3 for no apparent reason. Here's George Nelson. Doesn't have enough time. Wasn't looking at it. Salves student section gonna tell him about that for sure. Tim, how are we feeling?
Well, both defenses have been incredible so far tonight. Liam, again, just running that trap concept up high, really making them think quick. But leading tonight in scoring is Latrell Wright with 11 points, one of which being a 3. And of course, Kevin Coleman has 3 points of his own, one of them being that immaculate dunk. And then Esser and Zion Rothwell each have 4 apiece. The freshman Bray Sosa has 3 to his name tonight. This offense has been doing really well for how good the Odessa defense has been. They've been really good at making the Salves hustle, making them work, making them think quick. And these seniors have really stepped up and taken their opportunities to score.
Very defensive game in my own opinion. Great job on both sides of the ball. Kevin Coleman, one of the best defensive players on the Salves roster. Both teams heating up. Latrell Wright doing a phenomenal job keeping that 10-plus point streak alive since mid-December. I think we're in for a great one here. Both teams heating up, both student sections not going anywhere. I think this is going to be a great game going forward. I'm Liam Watson. He's Tim Grace. We'll see you for the second half. Welcome back to Birkenhauer Memorial Gymnasium, where the Salesianum Salves are up 25-22 against the Odessa Ducks. Salves looking good so far coming into this second half. Tim, what do you think so far?
Well, this has really been a defensive battle on both sides here. The Salves running that great zone and trap defense, holding the Ducks 22 points, and then of course the Ducks running a more man-centered trap defense. This really made the Salves have to think quickly, but they've been able to rack up 25 points, taking this 3-point lead to the half. As the Ducks get started with the ball here, there's George Nelson.
George Nelson, former Sal senior for the Odessa Ducks. Hope none of y'all heard what the DJ was playing a second ago, but here's Warfield with nothing. Warfield recovers and Shelley smacks it away. Get that out of here.
Great way to set the tone for the second half from Shelley.
Wilburn over to Reddick. Over to Nelson. 3. Bits it off the rim.
Zion Rothwell coming in for the South to throw this one in.
Rothwell been such a consistent player for the Salves, fallen under the radar many times, but such a great player that is. Wright, 2 guys on him, breaks away somehow. Latrell Wright loses it. That'll stay here. Great defense starting off by the Ducks.
There again, you could see the Salves, they sort of eat time in their offense just by these little quick give and go handoffs up top. That's exactly where the Ducks play their trap defense. There's dump downs for 3. But that's exactly where the Ducks play their trap defense of the Salves. If really had to just make sure their plays work the first time, or else it might get a little sticky for them.
Downs, huge 3 there. Wilburn looking to respond. Not quite Dom Downs, but Downs will, however, give a foul. On the floor, Odessa Ducks going to take this one out. Energy in the gym looking a little low. Reddick over to Nelson. Wilburn on Shelley. Shelley packs it off. Wilburn now resetting a little bit. Watson tries to pick, fake off. Wilburn underneath over to Reddick. Reddick's got a layup, swatted away by Rothwell. And that's Wilburn on the ground. He's in pain. Downs going to take a great layup there. Called after Wilburn is writhing in pain on the ground.
Looks like he hurt one of his legs there.
Still yet to get up. Trainer's just trying to identify the problem. Looks like it might be his right calf. He's going to be walked off. Walking off on his own accord, looking good, praying for his health. Ducks will take this one out.
There's no apparent injury there. It just looks like he's in a lot of pain. Which, of those 2 possibilities, the latter is a lot better. The Sally's band lost a drum and just took a little bit of a tumble. Getting it out of the field of play.
A couple minutes later, back to the game. Here's Warfield. Warfield, Rothwell over on Nelson. Nelson going to drive in a little bit. Great handles by him. Can't finish, however, Watson finishes for him. Beaten up, Downs. Over to Shelley. Shelley again, wide open. Shelley, nothing there. Nelson stripped away. Here's Warfield, recovers. Watson over. Downs to beat. Called on Watson.
Great heads-up play there from Downs, remembering late in that first half he got called on a foul for just going straight up. Decides to stay on the ground, set his feet with plenty of time, and takes the charge, eating the offensive foul, getting the Salves possession, holding the Ducks.
Best case scenario there for Downs. Not a lot you can do to stop such a train flying down the court. Is Shelley gonna keep this one at the top right. Over to Brown!
Phenomenal teamwork there from the Salves, getting the play working. The Salves student section flattens off of that. Now they're trying to get hyped up.
Earthquake shatters the court. Here's Shelley now. Over to right. Right, falling underneath, slipping, swatted away. Great defense there by the Ducks. Slipped over to Nelson. Nelson trying to replicate with Reddick. Reddick with a good two there. Great assist by George Nelson. Trying to respond. The huge momentum shift by Mark Brown.
Just take a look at that alley-oop again. Just a beaut. You can see Mark Brown just sneaking through on the baseline before going up for the dunk.
Great awareness there by Latrell Wright, seeing where his guys are all throughout the court. It's kind of hard to miss Mark Brown sitting at 6'7", but Latrell Wright is phenomenal at seeing where all his guys are, leading this Salesianum offense. It shows there. Sal's up by 6. Sosa. Got this one off to Latrell Wright. Sosa's been relatively quiet so far. Downs back over to Sosa. Downs. Slipped out by George Nelson. Great defense there. Downs slows to the field. There's nothing there. Sosa with a great interception. Latrell Wright hawks it over to Downs. Downs with the open three. Three by Dominic Downs. Falls to the ground. Slips past the defense's sights. Wide open to the corner. Easy shots for Dominic Downs, on fire here tonight.
Sosa tried to push him backcourt there.
And Stewart on Reddick. Warfield hooks around to Reddick. Reddick deep three. Can't respond. Rothwell trying to rip it away. Truitt's right there to respond.
Jump ball first of the half will go to the Salves.
Latrell Wright trying to keep an appropriate lead here for the Salves. Up by 9. Rothwell back to right. Over to Sosa. He's got some open room to run with. Dominic Downs has another three. He can't make them all. Latrell Wright's got an open three. Second time, nothing there. Downs pushes it up, can't get it. George Nelson gonna put the pressure on Wright. Wright strips it out. Good rim by Rothwell. Wright breaks through Reddick's contention. Wright swatted down by Truitt. Truitt says no thank you. Mark Brown intercepts the pass over to Stewart, and that's Sal's ball.
Wright came down funny on one of his legs. So Truitt landed right on top of him. getting checked out by the trainers. There's Mark Brown going over the top, unable to pull it through.
Sosa, floater, responding, nothing. Mark Brown, great wingspan there, puts it up, can't get it either. Truitt trying to use his length. That's a jump ball. That's Odessa. Mark Brown and Truitt, both with probably the tallest on either side of the team. Truitt with 3 huge swats here in this game tonight. Warfield on Sosa. Warfield getting around. He's got nothing to work with. Rothwell finds Coleman. Coleman back in the game. Coleman, juking out Stewart. Brady Esser also back in the game. Hawks it all over to Sosa. Sosa's got a neat open 3. Finds nothing on the inside of the rim. Over to Wilburn, back in the game. Can't grab it. Truitt hanging on the rim for no reason.
That's some bad awareness there from Truitt. It's a technical foul. Not allowed to hang on the rim, especially if you don't dunk it. Free opportunities there for the Salves.
Don't know what Truitt was looking at there. I mean, Wilburn was going for a deep 3, and not exactly sure how you're supposed to dunk on that one, but regardless, Rothwell will take the fouls at first. They'll let Rothwell take those tech shots for a reason. He makes them both. Lead up to 11 for the Salves. Matthew Shelley now, he's been electric on both sides, defense and offense. Coleman over to Esser. Esser, Sosa, Shelley, swatted away by Truitt. That's his 4th of the night. Reddick gonna reset over to Warfield, back to Wilburn. Swatted away by Brady Esser. Great job keeping the ball by Aiden Scott. Reddick, floater, airballed.
He was just trying to sell out for the layup there. A great job by Rothwell, getting down, getting his feet set, ready to take the charge. He saw it, but not in enough time to fully adjust his shot. Tried to go for the floater, but couldn't quite pull the ball where he wanted.
Salves must have saw something in their first half film, as that's the second time that Odessa tried to force a foul and they just went for the charging instead. The Salves are doing a great job because of it. Here's Rothwell with a floater. Truitt tries to swat it with no reason. Whenever Truitt's approaches here, it's only working about half the time.
There we got a timeout called by Odessa. It's 2:22 remaining in this third quarter. Salves up 39-26.
Reddick handing the ball to the Salesianum student section for some reason. I almost saw another call called their tech. That would have been pretty funny to see, but Ducks really looking to keep the pressure on right now. Sal's doing a phenomenal job. Putting more and more pressure on the Ducks. They have all the momentum in their hands, up 13.
Sal's pep band shaking the Burke right now, trying to get some energy back in the student section.
Sal's also with the foul advantage as well. Sal's only with 1, Odessa with 3. Sosa. Wilburn, full court press by Sosa.
Great trap defense from the Salves.
Rothwell's going to be called out of bounds.
Couldn't quite keep his feet down, trying to get that save. So, give the ball right back to the Ducks.
Junior Aiden Scott inbounding this one. Here's Wilburn. Wilburn over to Scott underneath to Reddick. Lost. Truitt recovers. Finds Wilburn on the outside. Going to reset. Brady Esser on him. Swatted away. No foul call. Here's Reddick underneath. Latrell right. Bodied.
It's calling a block against Wright. I guess he couldn't quite get his second foot set in time. But Coach Trevisan, he's getting heated. Heated enough that he has to take the jacket off.
Wilburn going to take a seat for Warfield. Warfield, a difference maker so far for the Odessa Ducks. Looking great. They need him here in this third quarter. Reddick misses it. Absolutely crucial foul shot there. Unable to take advantage of. Here's Sosa. Sosa to Rothwell. Rothwell to Kevin Coleman. Kevin Coleman pushed around. Great defense by the Ducks. Ball stays here. Reddick clapping in his face. Ref wondering, what is he doing?
It's a little excessive. Everybody in this gym knows what Reddick was trying to do. Reddick knows what he was trying to do. Gets off scot-free this time.
Reddick really stepping on the line here. Doesn't know when he's going to get a text soon. Right. Finds Rothwell somehow underneath. Rothwell can't put it in. Reddick with the great rebound. Here's Warfield. Warfield. Switching around. Rothwell all over and great pick set by Reddick. Rothwell. Warfield pressed on by Wright. Loses a little bit. Has to pick it up. Can't do anything with it. Finds Nelson. Another call on Rothwell. Both teams tied at 3 fouls. Truitt showing a little bit of discomfort. Seems to be fine. Here's Scott, almost intercepted by Wright. Wright's got to keep up now. Scott only has one hand to do anything with it. He finds Nelson in the corner, deep three. Can't find anything there. That's why he left the Salves. Can't make those threes. Here's Coleman. Coleman pushing 2 guys. Finds Brady Esser. Esser loses it. Recovers. Nelson all over him. Nelson painting a picture all over Brady Esser. That'll be a timeout called for the Salves. Both coaches giving an earful to pretty much every single ref on the court so far. Salves looking good, still have a good 11-point lead. However, the Ducks are starting to heat up. Tensions rise between both teams. Even if Odessa isn't, the Salves band sure is having a fun time up there. Made sure to retire the DJ that was here earlier. Just keep that band rolling.
Here comes Gray Sosa to throw this one in for the Salves. After the timeout, Coach Trevisan trying to send someone far back court. There goes Trell Wright. He's able to get back court in time. No violation.
Right. Put it up. Esser over to Sosa. Wright's going to reset. Nelson. taking their time here, burning that clock. Still a lot of time left in this game. Nelson bites hard, almost does a full split. Just gonna hold this clock out, Sosa. 16 seconds left in this quarter. Right. Looking for a hole, doubled. Finds Rothwell, does not. Warfield intercepts. Here's Reddick. Slam dunk. Reddick's heating up. Doesn't get the ball off on time. And that is just the thing Odessa needs to put the pressure on Salves to start this fourth quarter. Reddick, being one of the big difference makers here for Odessa, came pretty dang close to drawing a tech many times, but Reddick silencing the crowd a little bit here. Tim, how do we feel after this third quarter?
Well, this game has certainly shifted a lot from being defense. There's a lot more scoring, a lot more fast breaks in this third quarter than there was in the first half. And it looks like the fourth quarter is going to be near identical to that third. Just a lot of fast breaks, some high tensions, and a lot of scoring.
Salves, especially in terms of offense, they made some great stops on defense as well. A lot of different changes being made. Most notably, Odessa in the first half drawing a lot of fouls just by driving into the paint and chucking it up there and seeing what happens. Salves have adjusted very well to that. They're starting to just set picks instead of trying to swat away, and that's happened 3 separate times, and the Salves have come up huge. Once against Downs, that was just a charging penalty called against Odessa, and then both other times just ended up in an air ball because Odessa was hoping for a foul, and they weren't really expecting to make it in the first place. Sal's up 9 here, starting the fourth quarter. Tensions rising everywhere. Both student sections on their feet. Even though Sal's have the 9-point lead, I would say Odessa definitely has the momentum in their favor after that huge Zion Reddick dunk to end the third quarter. He stays in. Here's George Nelson. A little confused. He's just going to dump this one off to Scott. Warfield. Nelson with the handles, loses it. Ball stays here. Nelson's hands look a little slippery. A.J. Brown out here.
A little too soon for that one, Leo.
It's never too soon to make fun of the Eagles. Here's Scott. Here's another A.J. Brown. Call on Salves. Reddick. He's clapping up every chance he gets.
That one against Dom Downs. I guess he undercut that pass a little too aggressively. Got a little too much elbow in there trying to undercut it. But how the first half of this game's gone, a little surprised to see that call, but I understand where it's coming from.
Reddick dumps it over to Scott. Scott underneath the Reddick. Reddick strips it away. Shelley sacrifices himself for the ball. Wright charges underneath. Truitt swatting for no reason once again. I don't know what he's jumping for. That'll be a call on Latrell Wright. Let's stay unbiased here, Tim.
There was a heavy crowd down there. I'm not too sure I got the best view of it.
That's probably the best wording used for that. Here's George Nelson now. Nelson wasn't paying attention. He loses it. Sosa can't do anything with it. Nelson's going to recover. Pushed out. Stewart loses it. Reddick recovers. Reddick backing up. Warfield. Heavy pressure by Salesianum. Immaculate defense so far. Nelson's going to break away. No foul called there. He's going to take easy layup there. Deficit cut to 7. Here's Latrell Wright. Braylon Sosa finds Mark Brown. Mark Brown hasn't had a lot of touches in this second half. Latrell Wright over to Brady Esser. Esser finds Mark Brown. Great scoop around pass there. Gets it swat away. He has to start dribbling. Truitt all over him. Fade away. Jumper. Airballed. Reddick with the rebound. 6 minutes remain in the evening. Sosa. Stewart loses it. That crosses the line. Sal's ball. Sal's defense. Coming up clutch there. Right.
A lot of off-ball screens here for the Salves. Just trying to move the ball around, eat some clock. There's Wright in the middle. Incredible finesse. Latrell Wright for two.
Still my job a little bit there, Tim. Wright doing a great job on that layup. Keeping the deficit as large as possible. Mark Brown, big body fouled. Reddick drawing it. Reddick hitting the emote for, again, no apparent reason, but take it nonetheless. 5:50 remains. Both these shots very necessary. Makes it first. Watson coming in for Truitt. This is the second. Warfield tries to get the rebound. Nothing for it. No call yet. Stays here.
Looked like it bounced off of Esser, but once the call was made, I'm not sure if I agree with just giving it to Esser and then waiting and letting the coach tell you what he thinks before changing the call you already made. But
deep ball by Warfield, and that's going to be called a back and forth.
That's a backcourt violation. Apparently, if you split that half-court line, it's a violation. I didn't know the exact rule, but I'm sure I'll remember it now.
Wilburn back on the court as well. He's looking great after his third quarter minor injury. He's looking fine now. Here's Warfield. Finds Nelson in the paint. Deep floater. Doesn't show anything. Crowd wants a call. Here's Brady Esser. Esser splits underneath. Sideways floater. Tough to make. Rothwell with the rebound. Puts it up. Great recovery by Zion Rothwell. Coleman intercepts it. He's got two more. Keep stacking on those points.
Coleman giving the Ducks a taste of their own medicine. That heavy clap there. A little bit of a moving screen from Reddick. Refs don't see it. Doesn't matter as the Salves get it back on the board.
Watson can't get it. Latrell Wright going to split underneath. Kevin Coleman wide open for the three. Nothing to show for it. Brady Esser's going to recover. Great rebound by him. Watson can't get a hold on it. Brady Esser splits himself. Here's Matthew Shelley over to Kevin Coleman. Back over to Latrell Wright. Banked. Nothing. Shelley. Rebound. Wright. Back again. He's pushed outside. Ref going to have a word with Wright. Does not like what he heard.
Wright put the ball on the floor after walking away from what he thought was an apparent push that sent him out of bounds. Referee didn't see it that way. He called him out of bounds. Wright was getting heated, did the most respectful thing he could think of.
Which is not respectful at all. Here's Wilburn. Reddick. Reddick, he wants some of the glory here. Been responsible for part of this momentum shift. Here's Wilburn. Great defense by Sosa. Watson flying around the rim. Coleman recovery, finds Rothwell underneath. Great pump fake. Rothwell fits it in. Warfield He's fouled.
Timeout called there from the Ducks, trying to gather their thoughts and cut this 14-point deficit down as much as they can. As you're remaining 3 minutes and 46 seconds.
Timeout over. Salesianum takes back to the court. 14-point lead so far. Salves, 4 fouls on the quarter so far. Odessa with none. Odessa going to need to bring up their fourth quarter options here. Not many for them. 3:46 remains. Here's Wilburn. Watson. Back to Warfield. Warfield finds Wilburn.
Sosa's able to knock that one out of bounds. Wilburn just trying to get a little fancy with the handles there. Still Duck ball.
Stewart hogs it all the way up. I'm not exactly sure who that was to, but Brady Esser. Phenomenal layup by Brady Esser. Taking advantage of the huge mistake by Stewart there, hogging it deep for Warfield. Wilburn, no backcourt penalty called. Warfield sitting in the corner, drives underneath to Shelley, and that's going to be a charge. Dom Downs gonna find Sosa.
Wilburn giving Brady Esser a big old hug there. Getting called for it. Out in the open, you can't really do that. You can't do it that blatantly underneath in a big crowd either.
Downs finds Brady Esser. Stewart on him. Showing the handles off. Downs hugs it deep. Rothwell a little over him. Brady Esser finds Sosa. Sosa has got some room to work with. Huge by Braylon Sosa. Once again, Schuett's going to swat at the air and grabs a hold of the net. And Reddick's going to, it looks like get a big old cramp in his left hamstring. He's going to go pretty impressive bunny hop over to the sideline.
Now let's see if the freshman can make it 3. Money.
Sosa looking great, especially when the Salves need it. We see phenomenal change by the Salves defense. Odessa Ducks trying to draw out any penalty they can right now. Sal's having none of it.
Poor Matt Shelley in there. He's getting sent out for the Salves to play defense, and he's just taking a beat.